All right, welcome to today's story time where we're going to be going over 12 countries that I visited or lived in before coming to Morocco. People always say, Morocco, welcome, it's your second country. I have a little secret, it's actually like the fourth country I've lived in, but I'm gonna give you a little breakdown of my travels since I was a teenager. As a teenager, I took some trips to Canada with my stepfather fishing, and we would take a bus up through Minnesota and spend a week on the lake fishing, eating fish, and just relaxing. Good old fishing trip days. And after that, I went to university in 2008, and in 2009, I studied abroad in Australia. It was the first time, I guess, leaving North America, and it was a long plane ride. I was 19 years old, and I was to take a semester abroad there studying microbiology, marine vertebrates, and marine invertebrates. And it was here by the ocean that I began loving surfing. It was always something that was attractive to me. It looked cool. I'd played water sports before, but in Australia I was able to begin surfing. I took my first surf lesson, and this time was really formative. I realized I did not really want to be in a science laboratory all day. I like to be outside, I like to be with people, so this was a big turning point in my life. While I was in Australia, after the semester, I took a trip to New Zealand for 10 days with some friends. We rented a van, we drove around. I went skydiving for my first and only time. That was amazing. And I also went hitchhiking for the first time in my life. I remember I was in Queenstown and I needed to go to Christchurch because my friends had gone on with the van and I wanted to stay. I was having a good time in the village, so I had to get a separate way, and everyone said hitchhiking was a safe, effective way to get around. So I gave a go at that. I was really surprised how easy it was, but that was a big time of facing fears. Went back to the USA after that semester and still really wanted to get out. I went to Costa Rica to study, again, I was still studying science. I went to the rainforest and studied bullet ants. They're one of the most painful stings in the world. I worked with giving them alcohol sugar solutions to see how they enjoyed that. And it was there in Costa Rica that I realized the combination of Spanish and biology is actually a field I could go into. So I saw how these two different disciplines were working together in my life. The rainforest was an amazing place, a dream to go to since I was a child, to see the monkeys, to see the ants, to smell all the greenery. I highly recommend rainforest if you could go and check one out. I don't think there's definitely no tropical rainforest in Morocco, but in Africa there are. So after that, I continued to study Spanish, and it brought me to Granada, Spain in 2011. I was 21 years old in my final year of university, and I was taking a heavy course load of Spanish literature, cinema, history, language, and culture. I also took an Islamic studies class, and that's where I began to learn more about Islam. And in this time in Spain, I was really searching. I thought the economy was gonna collapse. I thought the end was near, right? It was a crazy time in my life, I would say. And that led me to Romania, which is the sixth country on the list. I went there for some adventure, to go as far as I can with the cheapest plane ticket I could find. I found a Ryanair flight and went solo to Romania. Ended up having an accident, but that's for another video, right? To change my flight coming back, and scary situation if you're a solo traveler there. Went back to Spain, finished the semester up, and I went to the USA, finished up my degree, at which point I graduated, but I was kind of lost. I wanted to do more. I still wanted to travel, and I'd gotten a degree in Spanish and biology, but without a master's or doctorate, a biology degree isn't the most useful piece of paper. Spanish is useful, but a lot of people in the USA speak Spanish. So I decided to take a working holiday in Australia because that's always a place that I wanted to get back to since 2009. It was a place that I really felt at home. I loved it. So I went back and did a working holiday, and I found myself working more than holidaying. So I was working at a taco shop, I had a bike rickshaw I would ride around, I was a dishwasher, security man and custodian in a hostel. So I was really busy and not surfing as much as I wanted to, and I got homesick. So decided to leave Australia but take an adventure through Indonesia. I went to the island of Bali, continued to surf there, met some people, friends, learned about the culture. And after that, I went to the Philippines. And it was actually in the Philippines when I really decided to go deep into yoga, to take some classes. And I remember studying with this woman at a hostel. And then that trip really changed me in that path toward yoga. I just left the Philippines feeling like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to the USA, I'm gonna study yoga intensively. I went through Japan on the way home. Just only thing I remember there is using an automatic bidet for the first time with hot water and a little bit too much water pressure. I didn't know what I was doing. That was a funny situation. And then I had a layover in Singapore too. I remember getting Burger King there. But countries to be explored more. And then once I got back to USA, I started doing the yoga studies pretty seriously. And I got a job working in a high school as a teacher's assistant. And I worked here for 4 years and did not travel in that time. I was not making enough money to take a big overseas trip, especially in the holiday seasons. Peak times for flights are the summers and winter break, you know, around Christmas time. So it was not really accessible for me to travel until I quit my job in 2017. I resigned in hopes of traveling more. I'd saved some money in those 4 years, and that's when that dream of Morocco came in. I said, I'm gonna get to Morocco. So I took a flight to Iceland, had a slice of pizza and a soda, and then I had a layover in France, Paris, and that didn't go so well. I was supposed to go to Morocco the next day, but some things happened with my health, and again, that's for another video on another day, but I had to go back to the USA then. So I almost made it to Morocco in 2017, September. Once I got my health thing sorted out, I actually made it back to Morocco at the end of 2017, and that puts us at 13th country if you count airport layovers. So a little bit about my traveling history. I've been around before. I've done some travels after being here for the first time, but so I just wanted to show that even after all these travels, there's something that still keeps calling me back to Morocco. I don't know what it is, but it might be the sunshine. So there you have it, list of 12 countries that I was at or visited or lived in before coming to Morocco. So if you got any questions, drop them below. Let me know if you like this video. I know it's something different, just a little story I wanted to tell. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.